Welcome to episode 4 of the Reboot franchise, and before we get into anything, first let's take a look. Considering we are 1-5 and doing terribly, let's take a look at least at what kind of pick we could expect to get with our terrible record. And right now, as we were looking at before, we are looking at the 4th overall pick. So the 49ers are doing much worse than us at 0-6, so at least we've got that as a kind comparison, and we've put up more points than these other teams. We're also allowing more than the Texans, but that's to be expected. Texans got a good defense, so I mean, it could be worse. Those teams below us make it look slightly better. By could be worse, I mean we could be dead bottom, not have won a game and scored no points. But still, this of course is what we expected. Now we've got a player ready to negotiate a contract, but I'm not going to do that until basically I've had a chance to scout players and know what's good. And let's take a look quickly at the news, which I don't do often enough and will start doing more often. Let's take a look at some of the news. We've got Reggie Austin, an offensive tackle, who apparently is very good. Hunter Washington, who apparently is very good. And there's two interesting ones here. We've got Oregon right outside linebacker Reginald Moats, who's apparently on and off kind of player. So I think usually what I've seen is when it's those kinds of reports, the guy doesn't tend to be too good. And then we've got Wyatt Favre of Illinois State, who has had to end his collegiate career early because of a staph infection. So Reggie Austin is a left guard, and he looks pretty good with B+ impact blocking. Also got B- run blocking. Let's go the whole distance, and he's got C+ pass blocking. But of course for a left guard, that's not too bad. Let's add him to the draft board because when there's news, we like to keep an eye on him. Okay, and then Hunter Washington, who had 5 sacks in one game, set a school record, is a run-stopping middle linebacker. So let's take a look at him. Look at the A- tackle, the B+ hit power, and the B+ pursuit. Let's add him to a draft board. That could be the kind of guy we'd like to take with our 4th overall pick. Anyway, that's college players scouted. Now we're on to the Vikings. And now, of course, the Vikings looking a bit different this year. Dalvin Cook at running back, Sam Bradford at quarterback. We know he's accurate, and when he moves the ball, he moves it well, even if they don't push it too deep too often. But that itself is going to cause a problem for us because it's those, intermediate routes that really take advantage of us because our linebackers aren't that great in coverage and our cornerbacks aren't that great in coverage either to, stop the short, quick routes either. So they could really take advantage of us here. However, we may stand a chance. Of course, they've got a very good defense. But if we finally start playing our game, and our game should be based off the run first and foremost, and then passing for Chad Kelly when we've got the chance, because if we force too much, he just can't get it done. That's just a fact. He's a rookie. After all, he was the Mr. Irrelevant. You can't expect him to be able to start straight away and be successful regularly throwing the ball. So run first, and we're going with speed now. We're going just pure speed. Jakeem Grant, Tommy Lee Lewis, Jeff Janis, those guys are going to look to take advantage of everybody with their speed. They're pretty good at catching and route running and everything else as well. They're not bad receivers. Even Tommy Lee Lewis with his low overall, and he's there because of his speed more than anything though. And then with the tight ends, I think Seth DeValve, we're going to give him another chance to show he might be better than CJ Uzomah. And then on the defensive side, we've just got to rush the passer, get pressure on him, and it'll give everybody else a chance.
So here we are playing the Minnesota Vikings in their beautiful, beautiful stadium. We're going to have our hands full today. And it's actually Latavius Murray who's the starting running back, but it doesn't matter because they tried to go for a pass, and coming in with the sack is DJ Alexander. Strong start to this game. 2nd and 16, they go for another play action. Tim Williams tries to come in, couldn't do it. And then Kyle Rudolph with the reception, with the broken tackles, rumbling down to the 48-yard line. And now on 2nd and 8 on the 35-yard line, they hand it off to Murray, but he can do nothing with it. And it sets up this 3rd and 11, a chance to get him off the field and maybe out of field goal position. But we don't manage that. Murray breaking a tackle, but he gets stopped. So we do hold them to a field goal. And now Wendell Smallwood finding a big hole here to start this game. This is what we needed. This is how we're going to get the running game going. And we try it again here on 1st and 10. And Wendell Smallwood fighting off contact. And those are a hard-fought 3 yards. And on 3rd and 5, we're going to have to pass for it. And Chad Kelly dropping back, trying to stay safe, but he throws off his back foot and couldn't find the receiver, so we had to punt away. 1st and 10 now. Sam Bradford with space finds his man, Stephon Diggs there over the middle. He takes a pretty good hit from Jalen Myrick there, but it's still a 1st down. 2nd and 8 now. The play action again. Heavy play action game for the Vikings here. And no pressure on Bradford. He gets shoved around, but then manages to release the ball. 2 Ravens defenders there. Neither of them there making the interception, which you would have liked to have seen, but it sets up this 3rd and 8. Bradford again under pressure, getting shoved around again, but this time the sack comes in. Chris Wormley there getting that sack, and they punt away. 1st and 10 now on the 20-yard line. It's a completion there to Jakeem Grant. We don't want to throw too often, but that was a nice completion. 3rd and 7, and now Chad Kelly pulls it down, looks to run, gets the first down, slides, stays safe. 1st and 10 now. And after that successful play, Chad Kelly with nobody open, looks to run again, has to take a wide run there and gets out of bounds after getting the first down. Could have maybe even gone further, but he kept it safe. And now on 2nd and 1, Chad Kelly under pressure, breaks out of the sack, runs, tries to stay as a passer, but when nobody's open, he goes and picks up the first down himself. That was a great move there from him. 1st and 10 now, finding Tommy Lee Lewis, who just couldn't get away from the cornerback. Trey Waynes also very fast. And on 1st and 10, we run now with Wendell Smallwood, who's looking for some space, makes some space with a juke move there and picks up the first down. That was a great move. It was a good block from the fullback, and then he made the second guy miss, Perry Riley Jr., and then there were 3 defenders to stop him. On 2nd and 1, we run into the end zone through a huge hole set up by the offensive line there. And now 1st and 10 for the Vikings. Another play action, another completion. Adam Thielen just getting away from everybody. Finally, Terrence Brooks coming in with the tackle. And then on 1st and 10, it's play action again, really sticking to that, the Vikings. And then he finds Stephon Diggs there. Marlon Humphrey just lost him in coverage, and he couldn't make the tackle before he got in the end zone. And now 3rd and 21, trying to get something done here. And we should have just, not try to do something, just get rid of the ball and punt away. Instead, we throw an interception. Harrison Smith taking that one and bringing it into good field position for this offense. 1st and 10 from the 26-yard line. It's a completion to Stephon Diggs. Marlon Humphrey over-pursued the ball. Stephon Diggs turns around, gets straight into the end zone. That's the easiest score they'll have today. 3rd and 14, looking for Jakeem Grant. He catches it, but he couldn't keep his feet in bounds. So we punt the ball away again. And now Vikings under some pressure. Tyus Bowser coming in with a sack there, making that 2nd and 18. And now Bradford looking to pass again. And Tyus Bowser in with the sack again. And that will stop them scoring any more points before the half. And he'll get us the ball back here. 2nd and 10. Chad Kelly rolling out, but he's looking to stay as a passer. Finds Jakeem Grant wide open, who tries to get around some defenders, but plenty of guys there to make the tackle. Now on 2nd and 9, we go for a pitch here to Wendell Smallwood, who's found himself in some space. Couldn't truck Harrison Smith. Maybe showed Smith a little bit early what he was trying to do. And then on 3rd and 7, Chad Kelly couldn't do anything before Trey Waynes came in on the blitz and stops that drive. We had to settle for a field goal, so now the score 10-17, and we're stopping this run game pretty well right now. 3rd and 13 now. Sam Bradford, plenty of time in the pocket, and it was too much time. He gets sacked there by Tyus Bowser, picking up his 3rd of the game. 3rd and 9 now for us, and again we can't do anything before we're sacked. Lamour coming in there with the 2nd sack of the game for him. 3rd and 12, and now it's Teddy Bridgewater at quarterback because Sam Bradford was injured on a previous play. 2nd and 19 for Bridgewater. He falls down, is hit by his own lineman, but nobody's coming there. Nobody got him down with contact, so he's still alive, throws the ball. Now he completes to one of his tight ends, and he gets hit by Eric Murray. The ball comes out. Tim Williams recovers. What a ridiculous series of events on that play. And on 3rd and 6 there, just a wild overthrow by Chad Kelly looking for his receiver, and he never found him. And now Murray round the outside. Terrence Brooks tripped over some guys on the floor, couldn't get near him. And the only guy now chasing him is Lorenzo Doss, and he will not be able to catch him before he gets into the end zone for a touchdown. And this puts this game a little bit out of reach here. 24-10. 3rd and 5, we couldn't complete for the first down, so we're going to have to go out on 4th down here. And Chad Kelly gets the ball out, and he gets it out to Seth Duval for the first down. But only a few plays later, we've got to go on 4th and 2. And Wendell Smallwood stopped behind the line, but drives those legs. He gets over the line to gain, gets us the first down now from the 32-yard line. That was aimed at the tight end, ended up going closer to Jakeem Grant. And the interception by Trey Waynes, and he is gone. He's fast. Let's hope we can catch him. Not that we've got much of a chance here with 4 minutes left, but if we can stop him, maybe we do stand a chance. We've got to stop the run here. They are trying to run out the clock. 3rd and 5, and it's a sack there. That's Xavier Gooden coming in with the half sack, and we've got to stop this field goal. It was our only chance of winning. We get the flag there, but without the stop, we wouldn't have been able to do anything anyway. Down 14, and we lose the game. Frustratingly, it looked like we had a couple of chances in this game, but it just wasn't to be. Chad Kelly today only throwing for 100 yards, 50% completion percentage, 2 interceptions. It's certainly not a good looking day for him. Rushing, however, we did better as a team. Wendell Smallwood went 18-68, 3.7 yards per carry and a touchdown. Chad Kelly went 641. Then receiving Jakeem Grant doing something there, 3 receptions for 65 yards. And then everybody else, just getting tiny little breadcrumbs of receptions. And then onto the defense. Well, first off, let's take a look at this. Matt Filer, not only did he allow 3 sacks today, he also had a false start. Maybe time to look at putting someone else starting at left tackle. 3 sacks, in one game.
That's quite worrying, and we felt the pressure all game long. Tackles though, Tyus Bowser leading the team with 6, most of those are sacks. DJ Alexander with 5, Xavier Gooden with 5. Let's take a look at the sacks. 3.5 for Tyus Bowser, 2 for Chris Wormley, 1 for Tim Williams, 1 for DJ Alexander, another half a sack for Xavier Gooden. No interceptions or anything. That would have helped us today. However, we did get a forced fumble on a nice play by Eric Murray. That entire play was crazy, and he finished it off with a forced fumble that we did recover. That just doesn't get tracked on this game. And that is it for this one. It was, I felt better about this one until, close to the end. I still felt pretty good about it. We've just got to cut out, those fatal mistakes, Chad Kelly's interceptions. Then we might stand a chance. So here we go, week 8, playing the Dolphins. We get to host them at home, and I'm fed up of losing games. Yeah, we are tanking, that's obviously the point, but we're going to win this game against the Dolphins. No excuses, we're going to play very, very simple football when it comes to the passing game. If we don't have it, we're going to go short. We're going to play the Mike Glennon of football. Even on third and whatevers, we're just going to go for the easy completion. Forget trying to get the first down. We're just trying to work today, get everybody's confidence up. Because Painter, he's suffering, We're losing games and he's not happy about it. And now he's a 67 overall. The poor guy needs us. So we're going to play a run-heavy game where we rely on short completions by the quarterback. And even on third downs, sometimes you just got to know when to, quit on it and just punt the ball away and put them in worse field position. That is exactly how we're going to approach this game against the Dolphins. It's going to be a good game for Jakeem Grant playing against the Dolphins. Of course, he probably has no reason, to feel mad at the Dolphins. They gave him a chance after all after he was undrafted. But he's still going to want to show him what he's capable of, and this will be his chance in this game.
So the Miami Dolphins in this universe, Ryan Tannehill did not suffer a season-ending injury and is their starting quarterback. We know they've got a lot of veteran depth on the defense, and for our young offense, that could look to be a problem. But our defense may be able to stop them if they can stop the running game, and it starts with the running game. Jay Ajayi, of course, our power running game with him, and they get the first down straight away. But shortly afterwards, we managed to, dial in, and Xavier Gooden stopped him for a loss there. And now on 3rd and 9, Ryan Tannehill gets away from the first man, gets away from a second man. Ryan Tannehill still going, gets away from a third defender, then slides down at the 27-yard line. Absolutely humiliating for our defense. And then nobody is even near Jay Ajayi as he just walks into the end zone for the first 7 points for the Dolphins. So we've got to try and do something here, and we said we'd keep it to a simple passing game, and that's the kind of completion we like on 3rd and 9. We've got to try and run for it here. Chad Kelly looks to fight for the extra few yards, but he couldn't get him. Had to punt the ball away on 2nd and 9. It's a completion, and Tannehill is completing everything. His receivers are holding on to everything, but if we can stop the run game, we might have a chance. We can't stop him passing right now, but we've got a chance if we stop the run and make him one-dimensional, and we get to stop him there on 3rd and 11. DJ Alexander with his 2nd sack in 2 weeks, and we hold them to the field goal. So the score 10-0. Jakeem Grant, a former Dolphin, now returning this kick, gets away from the first man, is pushed out of bounds at the 35-yard line. So this time we're looking to start with the run, and he's got some good blocks. A good block by Grassu there, and then another good block by Jeff Janis, and Wendell Smallwood gets away from everybody and takes it the 65 yards for the touchdown. Nice run from him, the best of the season. That's what we needed in this game. And then we managed to stop the Dolphins running game as well. We set up a 3rd and 6. They're going for a screen again. The completion is there, and we might have been able to stop him, but Humphrey seemed to jump into the blocker instead of just getting the ball carrier. And on 1st and 5, Ryan Tannehill tried to set up a screen, but was chased away. Tyus Bowser picking up a half a sack on that. And then on 1st and 10, again under pressure, Tannehill had to run away, and Eric Pinkins comes in with the sack, our safety linebacker hybrid. Now we're already in the second half here, and Wendell Smallwood finding some space here, getting a nice run. The score 13-7. We've got a chance if we can drive down here. And again, Smallwood finding some space, very elusive right now, getting around defenders. And on 3rd and 2, we run with TJ Logan, and he just couldn't do it. He's tackled for a loss. The blocks just weren't there. 2nd and 10 for the Dolphins. Tannehill with time, and now Julius Thomas just running around everyone, getting out of arm tackles, and Julius Thomas gets into the end zone. Absolutely ridiculous from the defense. Multiple chances to stop him, and we just didn't, and Julius Thomas dabs on us, and that is adding insult to injury. 3rd and 12. Kiko Alonso comes in with the sack. Of course, we have to punt it away. 2nd and 8. Tannehill with some time in the pocket here. We only sent 3, and the coverage, although we had a lot of guys in coverage, wasn't good enough. Eric Murray making that tackle, 1st and 10, running with Jay Ajayi, who goes straight up the middle. Eric Murray, no, it's Lorenzo Doss who's got to make the tackle. Our safety was being blocked, and then on 1st and goal, they just finish it off there with Jay Ajayi. He picks up the touchdown. He was just denied the previous play, and now on 1st and 10, we try a screenplay here. We're now down 26-7. This game was close not that long ago. We're now deep in the 4th quarter, and on 3rd and 6, Chad Kelly's got to get away from this man. He's going to look to run for it, and if there would have been a block by Seth DeValve, maybe we would have had a chance, but it never looked good for us. And on 3rd and 7, stopping Jay Ajayi there, so we force him to get another field goal, 29-7. Still a chance to try and get something done here, but that interception does not help. Just put in the wrong place there where the safety was able to take it away from Seth DeValve, and now the Dolphins have the ball again. But don't forget, this defense is not bad. That was a good play there by our young Tim Williams, getting off the block and making the tackle in the backfield, and Wendell Smallwood as well with some good power running there. It is now Berkovici at quarterback because we just took Chad Kelly out, and that's why, because he took a huge hit, fumbles the ball, the Dolphins recover.
You think back to our plan, and this was not it, and it ends with Mike Berkovici at quarterback. Now really, you know, as much as you take out your starting quarterback when you're winning by a lot of points, it makes just as much sense to take out your starting quarterback when you're losing by a lot of points, because why get him injured when you're obviously not going to win? So we took him out, and it gives us a chance to look at Mike Berkovici. Now, completion percentage, he's not much better, 75-71. At least he didn't throw an interception, but there's just nothing there. The quarterback position, I thought, was going to be better this year, and I'm not blaming the players themselves, but obviously the play from the position is not good enough. Wendell Smallwood had such a good start, and then we had to go away from the running game, and the line, everybody, not even just the line, his fullback, everybody stopped blocking for him. He was doing so well, and then they just gave up. They retired. Receiving, Wendell Smallwood, 4 for 24, 2 for 14, 1 for 11, 1 for 8. That was it. Then on defense, let's take a look who led the team in tackles. Xavier Gooden. Now that's a good player. On defense, I like these guys. So Xavier Gooden, 10 tackles. Terrence Brooks, 9 tackles. Tyus Bowser, 7. But then again, I say I like them. The amount of missed tackles today was also absolutely filthy. It was dirty, and I don't know how it happened. 1 sack for Eric Pinkins, 1 sack for DJ Alexander, half a sack for Tyus Bowser and Brent Urban. Obviously no interceptions. Don't think we've got forced fumbles this time either, not that I would remember anyway. So that does it for this game. We lose 32-7. This is terrible, but also at the same time going to plan. So with that game done, we finish off at 1-7. It's ugly. It is hideous. But like we said, it's part of the plan. And let's take a look at the standings. Maybe we're doing better in the first overall pick raffle. And we've now got the 2nd overall pick. Maybe the Bears jump back ahead of us, but that's good news. At least, you know, we might get the very high pick and get a free choice. And why that is important is because what I'm going to do now is going to scout college players, and we're going to take a look at, you know, what kind of quarterbacks there are. Now, there are 4 with a 1st round tag. Maybe one of these guys is good. I like the fact there's 3 mobile quarterbacks very early on. Pretty much the entire time through Fire Sale franchise, none of the quarterbacks that came up early on were mobile whatsoever, all very slow. Well, not very slow, but really quite slow. This time might be different. I do like a mobile quarterback. That's what Chad Kelly does well, is get out of the pocket and get first downs that way. So we're going to take a look at these guys, and then we'll just quickly, you know, look at the things here. And there we go. There's a decent looking guy, Cooper Maddox, and it's a nice name as well. We might like Cooper Maddox. And Zach, well, we don't like that name. Unertle. What kind of name is that? Let's look at the guys with B throwing the run. That's not a good stat. Come on. Why is it just throwing the run? So they're not looking great there. Let's finish them off though, because they're pretty good. B throw accuracy. Yeah, I'm not really too hot on these guys. Let's take a look at the others as well. There we go. These guys are better. That's a shame. So the throw power was worse, but ooh, look at these. These guys are the good ones. But then it goes to throw on the run. There, that might be the best one here. This guy might be the best one here. Rashard Bridges out of Texas A&M, a mobile quarterback. He may be the guy. Well, to be fair, now stop. Everything stop. There is no way we are not drafting a guy called BJ Wiener. This guy is going to be the greatest player ever. He's got an undrafted, you know, potential whatever. He's called BJ Wiener. He's joining the team. Not entirely sure why I then also fully scattered Ross Brady. Just a waste of a couple of points. But wow, look at that. We've got two guys we want now. Rashad Bridges, who's got the best stats out of everybody here, and BJ Wiener, who's got the best name out of everybody here. And all of a sudden, I'm feeling a lot better about the quarterback position, just knowing the kind of great things that await us when we get to the draft. But we've still got, quite a lot of games to play. We're only halfway through the season, and we're doing terribly. I'd like to win some more games before it's all said and done. But also, and this sounds like maybe I'm, making excuses. Fragel's supposed to be there. This may sound like I'm making excuses, but let's be honest. Last year, what I kind of ended up proving was that Madden didn't care about stats for a lot of things, and that was true, and they changed that for things like the offensive line. This year, you're seeing some really balanced gameplay based on how good the players actually are, which is a good thing, but not when you're trying to play with low-rated players. That is it for this episode. In the next one, we will try and get a win, or at least, not look as embarrassing.